The second stage of the Santos Tour Down Under, taking the riders away from Unley and onward to Stirling, 148.6 kilometres, and the man wearing the ochre jersey, the German cyclist Andre Greipel. They got to the 0 kilometre mark after 15 kilometres of neutralised riding, and then the race was on, and immediately, Paul, an attack.
Yes, the first attack of the day coming from the South African. Already in the breakaway yesterday, Nicolas Dlamini. He was joined very swiftly by Will Clark, Jaime Castrillo and Scott Bowden.
The four of them getting together, planning an escape if it were to succeed, lasting 148 kilometres. But initially, the first target was the first King of the Mountains at Tea Tree Gully. The rider on the right, number 53, wearing the Subaru polka dot jersey as leader after a victory on the only climb of the day yesterday. And he was now looking for 10 more points to double his advantage. Scott Bowden had a slight problem with the back wheel of his bike. At the same time he wanted a drink. He fell away from the action temporarily, but then came the sprint to the line.
Now it was a big challenge. Will Clark was second overall at the start of the day in the Subaru King of the Mountains competition, and these two riders are going head to head all the way to the line. But the 22-year-old from South Africa, Dlamini, got himself maximum points again, bringing his total to 20 in this competition.
At this stage, the riders had a lead of over 4 minutes, but wisely, Nicolas Dlamini fell back to the main field. His job done, his main target achieved for the day. Under very hot and clear skies, the race continued to stalk the rest of the riders.
They continued to amass a massive advantage over the main field. Initially 4.5 minutes, but a maximum of 6.5 minutes when they got to 110 kilometres to go. But more importantly on the road, there were two sprint points, the first coming at Oakbank.
46 kilometres into the race, and the rider in the pink here, the most aggressive rider of yesterday, was at it again. Will Clark was chasing here a 3-second time bonus, and he now was only 1 second behind overall the German rider Andre Greipel. A little bit of a regrouping as they rode through Oakbank. The next target of the day will be at Mylor at 77 kilometres.
He knew it was important to try and get this 3-second time bonus as well, because that would in fact put him ahead of the German Andre Greipel in the overall standings. He showed a clean pair of wheels to the other two riders in the breakaway, picking up another 3-second time bonus, making his tally to 6 seconds on the day.
And the virtual leader by 2 on the road. Then came the orders to fall back to the main field. Will Clark had done his job, so too had the white-jerseyed Scott Bowden, and that left just one man out front, Jaime Castrillo, a 21-year-old young professional from Spain, and he tried to win it alone.
Will Clark got picked up by the main field. His next hope was that he could stay in contact with the main field, because if the right combination came around, he could be the new overall leader at the end of the day. But first of all, the main field had to think about one main goal, pulling back the Spanish rider Jaime Castrillo from the Pyrenees.
There were 3 vicious laps of 21 kilometres each, a circuit based on Stirling. The peloton were unrelentless. They kept him in sight all of the way. Then there was an accident. Steve Morabito, a Swiss rider on the French FDJ team, he dislocated his shoulder. Help was at hand, and the doctors actually put it back in.
A nasty thing to happen while at the front of the race. Jaime Castrillo was losing his advantage, and from 4 minutes it was down to 1 minute and 15 seconds with a lap to go.
The peloton finally wound the Spanish rider back in after an escape of 135 kilometres. So all that remained was the big sprint to the line, and the sprinters were all there. And after a shoulder-to-shoulder battle, the man beaten on the previous day, Caleb Ewan, was now on the back wheel of the world champion, Peter Sagan. When he saw the finish, he moved a little bit later, and he lasted the best to the line. Caleb Ewan won at the stage, and historically, that was his 7th stage win.
Yeah, I'm out of breath right now. It was a super tough finish, and it's one that we were also unsure about whether I'd make it over the top. But you know, the boys, they put me in a perfect position again, and you know, I just love seeing them, back me 100% even after some results that we weren't hoping for. Yeah, so for them to back me on the stage, it probably doesn't even suit me. It means a lot. Yeah, you know, I heard on the radio that Greipel had been dropped. Thanks, man. That Greipel had been dropped on the last climb, so yeah, you know, I'm so happy to be back in the Oka.
And he was back in Oka to lead the race for the third day, which will take the riders from Glenelg to Victor Harbour.